Ministry good to go, isn't it? Yeah, that's good. That's good. I love it. Hallelujah. We thank God for another beautiful Sunday. I take the opportunity to welcome every one of you. Sister Aku, you are here. The Papa himself, I'm just mentioning the names according to how it's displayed on my screen. Oh, it's just changed. I was going to say Papa is here, and then also Mommy quickly jump ahead of Aku on my screen because you put on your video. Also, Mommy, I'm up on you. God bless you for coming. Sister Aku, God bless you. Papa Sam Eagle, God bless you. My own son, Samuel Joshua Aaron Doron. It's one person with several names. Samuel Joshua Aaron Doron. I know all the boys are in support of Joshua taking over. So whether Joshua you like it or yes, there is no for you. And so embrace it. It's your somebody will say your bona fide inheritance. So we've dealt with that already. Anyway, I'm happy to see you, Joshua. I'm so happy to see you. When I come online, I'm happy to see everyone. But when I come online, I see Joshua, the consistency. Therefore, you put in coming every Sunday. I love it. We didn't get the opportunity to do what you are doing. Believe me. You're in a good place. You're in a good place. I wouldn't say I wish I was in your shoes but I'm just saying that you're in a good place. God bless you for the wonderful work that you are doing. For some reason, I don't know, I just feel, and I have this feeling every day. That's why I do say what I say. I have a feeling, and a conviction that every Sunday there's somebody new watching us. I don't know why.
Yep, I agree.
I don't know if you've had that feeling. For some strange reason, I do have the feeling that every Sunday, somebody just chance upon. It's not somebody we've invited, but somebody chance upon us and say, okay, let me watch it. Let me listen to their bullshit. For some reason. I feel that in my spirit, the Lord. So if you are joining us for the first time, by invitation or by chance, I warmly welcome you to a family of willing minds where we devote our time, our effort, our material resources to further the cause of the gospel. You are in the right place at the right time with the right people. And you're going to have an experience that you've never had before. We thank God for your life. I don't know who you are, but I thank God for your life. And here what we do is we have the love and the agency to make mankind aware of the good news of their redemption from an inferior expression of life into the most abundant and glorious life possible. And that's what Jesus said. He said, I came that you have life and you have it in abundance. And I was reading this verse many years ago, and I asked myself, but these people Jesus was talking to, they had life. They were living. For us, if you have life, once you are breathing, you are walking, you are not sick. Even if you are sick, you still have life. But yeah, he said to them, I came that you have life and you have it in abundance. Meaning that they had life, but not the life that the Father wanted them to have. Not the life that they were meant to express. And here, that is what we seek to do. Make you understand that you are born into a glorious, you are born into an abundance, you are born into a life, a limitless life, where everything is possible. With all things are possible. So, with you, all things are possible, and that's what we seek to do. It's a family where we come to enjoy ourselves, enjoy one another. It's a church, but I personally don't call it a church. Call it family meeting. We come for a family meeting. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So if you have just joined in, join us, stay glued to your seat and experience your evolution, experience your evolving. I can assure you that you will not live the same. We are grateful to God for the week past. We are grateful for life abundance. We are grateful for goodness. We are grateful for health. We are grateful for providence. We're grateful for the weather, for the rain. This morning, I don't know about you, Rev, in Cheltenham, but it was raining heavily here. I was going out this morning, it wasn't raining. And all of a sudden, it started pouring heavily. And then it just stopped. I went outside to the car, and it was as if it hasn't rained. That's the beauty of Daddy. It rains when it has to rain for your good. It was just about 20 minutes. In the space of 20 minutes, it rained heavily, and then it stopped. And it was for your good. And the rain has stopped for your good. Wherever you are listening to us or watching us, if it's the sun is shining and you are feeling hot, it is for your good. It is 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 good. That is the beauty and that is the love and the goodness of Daddy. For He makes His rain to rain on the just and the unjust. He makes the sun to shine on the just and the unjust. That is to tell us that Father God, irrespective of your belief, irrespective of your color, irrespective of your race, irrespective of whether you want to accept or not accept, you cannot exclude yourself from the love of God. You cannot. It is impossible. I dare anybody to come and tell me that media, I don't want to be part of the love of God. Thank you, Jesus. And so if you have always been in a place where you are made to understand or believe that you ought to, you see, don't get me wrong. If you are made to understand that you ought to live a certain kind of life or recite a certain sort of words or phrases before you experience the love of God, it's a lie. A certain kind of life is good. Obviously, if you're going about drinking and finding yourself in the gutter every day, every now and then, if you're going about, doing things that will get you into trouble, it's not acceptable. But if anybody makes you believe that that sort of life takes you away from the providence and the love of the Father, that person, go and tell that person that Pastor K says he's a liar. This morning, afternoon, is all about the goodness of Daddy. It's all about the love of Daddy. It's all about the love of God. When the Bible talks about, for God so loved the world, that's why He gave His only begotten Son. You have theologians come from a different perspective. They say, oh, God so loved the world, but there isn't any but there. God didn't give His beloved Son for somebody, for any group of people, or for you to believe in that beloved Son before anything can happen to you. Jesus didn't have to die. He died anyway. But the question remains, if He had not died, would God not have loved the world? It's when you read scriptures, ask yourself questions. They say, come, let us reason together. Use your brain and let's ask God questions. Okay, if Jesus did not die, when Jesus had not come to die, in the days of Abraham, in the days of Moses, in the days of Jeremiah and co, when Jesus had not come to die, did God not love the world? There is something that we are missing in our churches. There's something that we are missing in our doctrines. There's something that we've not considered in the Bible. Let us open our eyes. I'm saying this with love. I'm saying this with appreciation to the effort that everyone is putting in when it comes to church service. But all that I'm begging of us to do, as we are praying, this is prayer. It's for us to open our spirit up, open our minds up. Just left us a spirit, as you always say. We thank God for. Thank you, Jesus. In the past, I used to just repeat this. I feel to say this. It's good. When you encounter truth, when you awaken to truth. I remember those my relentless days when I used to pray hard. Now I don't pray anymore. If you ask me to come and do open prayers, it will take me the whole night to sit down and open scriptures and make notes and take points for a 5 minutes open prayer. For some strange reasons, call me any day, anywhere to come and pray. And I just enjoy myself. If I'm talking, I'm not praying. I'm not praying. I don't see myself like I'm just enjoying myself talking. Something is doing me. Something is doing me. It's like somebody is knowing you. If I will say that after church service. But something is doing me. That is the goodness of God. He has not called us to struggle to know him, struggle to serve God. I use those words to serve God in a term that we use as believers. We have made church, we have made serving God, we have made prayers, we have made all these things very difficult. That you need to be able to have a certain sort of voice before you can sing or before you can worship. Because worship is of a certain description. We've put some description to worship. You need to be able to say certain kind of words, certain kind of jargons before you can pray and feel like you have prayed. There's some excitement in my spirit, Rev. And I pray that excitement will invade this platform this very minute in the name of Jesus. You experience joy that you have never experienced before. You will trace a testimony to this very session in the name of Jesus. But date to write the date. Today's date is 5th. Is it 5th or 6th? Today is 5th.
5th, yeah.
Wherever you are listening to me from, I want you to write today's date. I have not seen, I have not heard. I'm not a false prophecy. I hear this. I'm telling you as I feel in my spirit. Write today's date. Rev, please allow me to say this. I know here we don't prophesy, so I would say I'm prophesying.
Who said we don't prophesy? We prophesy. What we do is prophesy.
So should I do you know me?
Yeah.
Have I spoken to you today? Oh, thank you, Jesus. I want you to write today's date. Rev, I just want somebody hearing it for the first time. I want to write today's date. You're going to trace a testimony to this very day. That joy that I'm feeling now will never leave. You will not depart from your home in the name of Jesus. We thank God for invasion of truth this afternoon, this morning, depending on where you are. The entrance of his word brings light, it brings understanding to them who do not have that understanding. I pray, Lord, that even as your word comes forth this afternoon, Lord, let there be clarity, let there be understanding. In the name of Jesus. If I end here, if I don't end, I won't stop talking. I don't have any script, but there's something bubbling in my spirit. I want to talk and talk and talk, but time. Please go on.
Thank you. Thank you very much. If not, there's a clip that I wanted us to watch, but unfortunately, because of copyright issues, just a very short clip, but maybe I listened to it with Joshua and the rest of the boys this morning, and maybe you'll be able to fill us in a little bit. But I've shared it on the platform before years ago, and it's pertinent to principle 2 that we are taking for the next 2 or 3 weeks. That is a principle of well-being. I think we have done justice with pain for now. And this morning I was just thinking, and the phrase came to my heart: the pain is just a temporary shift in your energy. that is in how your energy flows. And the more I'm growing, the more I'm realizing that the moment when you feel pain or a sensation of pain in your heart, as I'm saying heart this way because that's where we feel it first before it even finds expression in our body. And you relax and dare to face it. Without a doubt, it will pass away. I don't know about you, but for me, I've come to accept. Someone 3 days ago was asking me that I'm on and on. So now you say that you've been saying that you're not religious and that, and you're spiritual. And I said, well, I don't even want to say that I'm not religious because that in itself is a religion. And these days, you do hear those of us supposedly who have become or who have become proponents of, in quote, addressing the system. Yeah, we get a lot of people who are giving themselves a badge like I'm anti-religion, I am anti-religion, and religion is toxic, and religion is that, and religion is that, and that. And it's been on my heart for a couple of years. I'm like, you know what? So now what we are doing, in a sense, we are creating a religion out of hating religion.
Yeah.
You see, and all forms of judgment, each and every time, every judgment we bring to anything is an innate expression of our own self. So he says, judge not, lest ye be judged. So for me, the journey that I have embraced, if you want to call it spirituality, whatever you want to call it, is infinite. And I've identified that it's based on my going beyond myself each and every day, every single day of my life for the rest of my life. What it is for me, it's a commitment to go beyond me, no matter what it takes. An infinite journey. Every minute, every day of my life for the rest of my life to see it. And until we come to the life of being at our own limit, it's impossible for us to go beyond ourselves. How can you go beyond yourself when you're never at your limits? If you're not at your limits and you're growing, you're only growing within you. When you are constantly at your limits, that is the only time you'll be able to go beyond yourself. And I was thinking about this last night while I was lying here. And when I got back in, I lay down there for about four hours and a bit. I had a lot of things. I was just letting things rise through me, bubble, and I was just absorbing things and thinking on it. And it dawned on me that as you mature and as you grow in spirit, one of the things that show or that will begin to get revealed to you is that it will appear to you like your life is always on the edge. And that there's always something for you to push through. And how I'm utilizing that is I'm using that to break my judgment and also to break my innate resistances. See? Because in life, if genuinely we claim that we have embraced this journey of, I can only call it, I'm using the word journey for want of an appropriate word, so just bear with me, but I think you understand, I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. But that in itself also becomes another thing, that with my understanding of this evolution, I have also embraced the fact that being or allowing the spirit you to find expression cannot be separated in any way from letting go. Neither can it be separated in any way from the enhancement of your relationship with other humans. Because no man is an island. It's key. And when we are not a people who are busy judging and resisting people based on, all our judgments and all resistances that we give to us, to people, to situations, to circumstances, they are all things that are inside of us. It's never the person outside. It's never the situation outside. It's always inside of us. It's an expression within. It's a sensation within. It's an experience within. And the life of the spiritual man is the one who has embraced a life that is not busy judging others. It's not busy resisting people based on their own blocks within. And the more I am appreciating that, the more I'm coming to the place of understanding that it is really easy to get along with people. But the challenge is most of the time, we are struggling to get along with ourselves. And letting go of yourself is the simplest way to get closer to others. If you're holding to yourself, you can never get close to anyone. If you're seeking to improve relationship with anyone, the easiest way is to let go. That's why sometimes I get worried when people talk about relationships and they talk boundaries and all those things. It worries me, but I don't talk much about it because I feel that maybe the perspective we bring to it, people who talk using those languages may not necessarily appreciate it. So I just don't bother. But it's something that is very concerning for me. It's very concerning. And I think that is one thing that will become apparent and we'll get more into even as we explore principle number 2, the principle of well-being. I made a quote. So the caption quote says, release yourself from the need for apology. I mentioned this last week. Release yourself from the need for apology and gratitude. No one owes you an apology for harm done you or gratitude for the good you did to them. Let me repeat. Release yourself from the need for apology and gratitude. No one owes you an apology for the harm done you or gratitude for the good you did to them. Okay? I know that there may be dissenting views on this, but is a truth that I accept and I agree with in every detail. In that we cannot go through life without having a feeling of being hurt by a thing or by someone. But the point is there a need of going through life carrying the burden of someone else? And what do I mean by this? We have been taught generally and naturally that when someone hurts you, or when someone does something that you consider to be painful, or when someone conducts himself in a manner that you don't think you approve of, you wait on them to accept their fault, come apologize and seek of you forgiveness. And we have imposed that ideal upon. Not that it's one of two things. It's either we have imported that from how traditional religion has taught us: forgive others and God will forgive you. If you don't forgive others, God won't forgive you. So, or we walk around with an indebtedness of apology, living our lives like that. But the point and the question then is, should and is that really the case? Is there a perspective to this that we have missed in line with our own well-being? So we walk around carrying burdens of heads that people we believe that people have done to us, or things that people have committed, or actions of people which we believe has made us uncomfortable or impaired us in one way or the other. And we are constantly scanning our minds to find people who must forgive, or who must seek forgiveness from us. Okay? And the funny thing, I don't know if you agree with me on this, where someone does something to you and they don't show, in your opinion or in your mind, they don't show any sign of remorse, and you are there waiting for something to happen for them to come to their senses that this or that they did to you wasn't a nice thing for them to have done. Well, I've been there before. I put my hand up, no shit. Okay? Or someone not taking your advice, and you deep down within you wishing that it doesn't go well, so that they will come back and say, "Oh, you told me and I didn't listen."
So we do it mostly. Without something happening, the person will not realize that what you were saying was the truth. So you want something to happen. You want whatever the person wanted to do to not go well. So
Yeah,
it's true.
and we live our lives. We live our lives in that space, always thinking, you know what? Yeah, you just leave them. Don't worry. The same people you meet going up are the same you meet coming down. You are going to need me one day. And then, so the whole point of wishing that they need you in the future is that you are only expecting them in one way or the other to come and say that, oh, you know what, I've offended you, I was wrong and you were right. Okay. And I believe that in the next couple of weeks, as we go into it, thankfully, we will open ourselves to a place where we'll begin to transcend some of these things, and then have enhancements in our well-being. And the truth is, sometimes even when we believe that we are ready to forgive people, we make our forgiveness or our letting go contingent on them. But the point is, what if it doesn't? It takes that person a lifetime to realize that whatever they did to you was not appropriate. What's in your mouth? That instance where they take forever in coming to the realization that they have done something that hurts you, or they've done something that is inappropriate. Are you going to carry that burden until that time? Or are you going to constantly try to manipulate circumstances in a way that forces them to come to the place of accepting that, oh, you know what, I haven't done right and I need to, I need to come apologize. These are some of the things that I would want us to look at in these sessions as we look at the principle of well-being. Jay. Jay. Is he there? Jasha? Is he not there? Anyway. Okay. Maybe he's excusing himself, but I think he's still showing here, isn't he? Yeah. So it's still showing here, so I don't know where he's going to.
Hello?
All right, cool. Okay, you're here. Right. So this morning, whilst we were having this intro, we talked a little bit about nonviolent communication. Can you share with us what you learned?
From what I remember, in the video, they talked about how, well, the way you talk reflects on how someone will act after you said it. Because he gave an example, the man gave an example. He was talking to his either wife or girlfriend, about saying that he asked if she wanted to do something, and he said no, and he said, well, you're selfish. And then he said he could either make it sound really rude, saying that she's selfish, and that she never wants to do anything, and she's just like her mother, and she would have seen it as she wouldn't have taken that nicely, or taken that the right way, as he would have wanted her to take it. Or he could have said it in a nicer way. And if he did say it in a nicer way, she may have taken it and she would have understood it more. Because people want to listen to kind words. People don't want negativity. People won't just listen to someone if they're being rude to them. Instead of listen to someone if they're trying to understand, or if they're trying to get you to understand what they're. That's what I remember from the video.
Sure. So I'm sure you're probably wondering, what has that got to do with the principle of well-being? And I'm a well-being ambassador in work, and I do get a chance to talk to people when they have various concerns, but I adopt a more direct approach towards it. I don't sit back waiting for people to come to me to share their issues. I sense their issues and have chats with them that brings out the things that is on their heart that they want to share. And I was telling a colleague of mine on, I think it was on Wednesday, no, Thursday, that he was looking at, he had looked at my profile on LinkedIn, and I said, my profile on LinkedIn is changing. I just want to change it from a project planner to a chief happiness officer. And he's like, oh, Sam, you're crazy. Which one is that? And I said, we are working on this project, CVL, and you guys make it as if it's the most important project in the world. But I can tell you for a fact, the most important project to you and me is ourselves. And immediately I said that he stopped whatever he was doing, and we had a chat for about 10 minutes. And I said, I have come to that acceptance that the most important project I can work on, irrespective of the 11 or so projects that I am working on, the most important project is myself. And I am the chief happiness officer for all these projects. That is my life. Okay? We are connected. Thinking about well-being. None of us is isolated. There is oneness. And I am the oneness in that oneness. That is equally true of you, whether you are aware of it or not. But having that understanding alters the way you view life and also the way you view others. We are connected, and what enhances our well-being, I have identified, is communication. The principle of well-being is what we're dealing with. It's communication. Even when you are not doing anything, you are communicating. You agree? You're constantly communicating with yourself, even when you're not communicating to anyone. It's something we do all the time. Okay? And I have accepted that why the chief happiness officer, happiness in life is paramount. And it thrives on meaningful relationships, most important of which, as I've indicated, is one with your own self. If you are not a company that you enjoy being with, you will not enjoy being with any other. That is not an invitation for us to recluse and get into ourselves to the point that we don't relate with anyone. But if you are a company that you enjoy being with and you are selfless, you will enjoy bringing that joy to the people that are around you. That's what set Joseph apart. And he was that one who was bringing the joy and the charm to other prisoners. He was a mystic who was at peace with ultimate reality, with himself, and bringing it to others. So my obsession the last few years, as I always say, has been to grow in my relationship with others in a way that encourages honesty, in a way that encourages empathy and largely compassion. Because regardless of how different we look from each other, at the very base, at the very bottom, we have one thing in common, and that's our universal needs. So you can look at our quest or our need to find meaning or fulfillment in life, our need of sustenance, our need for creativity because we've emerged from creative love intelligence, our need for rest, our need for assurance, our need for empathy, our need for autonomy because that is who we are, all divine individuations of the same divine essence, our need for community, our need for safety, honesty. And as we know, the language that we use to communicate this is our feelings. So feelings are the signpost to all of these things. And you are ultimately responsible. You have the sole responsibility for figuring out how to fulfill that need. But the challenge comes when we get addicted in our bidding to a particular strategy or to a particular way of having need met in that space, and we stop exploring other avenues. And that is one of the bondages of religion. You get addicted to our beliefs and we become stuck. And we stop ourselves from our own evolution. I've been studying the works of Professor Marshall Rosenberg, who is the father of nonviolent communication for about six years now. And he said something that can't leave me. When he says that we tend to focus on words, okay? But it's important for us in our dealings with ourselves and in our dealings with people to rather focus on the need that our words or their words are expressing. I'll give us an example, classic one. You ask someone, you ask a case, they'll tell you this. The moment I step out into the house, I'm accustomed to, why is this thing not there? Why is that thing out of because my eyes just picks up the absence of the ordinary, the presence of the unordinary. I can't help it. It's just the way it is. And I can't pretend not to. And over time, I just started asking myself, why is it that if things aren't where I expect them to be or where I think they should be, what in me gets that agitation? See, I had been asking myself over time, and I realized that often at times, I'm stepping out, coming in, and at the back of my mind, all that I want to come to is a nice, calm, relaxed environment. We need for me not to find anything untoward, so that I can just straight away sink into having some sanity and some peace of mind. So I've identified at the base level what the need is. That gives rise to its expression in finding fault with things not being where they're supposed to be, or not being as I think they should be. Joshua mentions the example that he gives about someone saying to the girlfriend that you're selfish, you're just like your mom, da 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 da. You know, I learned something from Dr. Rosenberg, and he said it's beautiful the way he puts it. So tell me which of these someone will be more amenable to. If I come to you telling you, Kwaku, you only care about yourself, you don't take any interest in what I do, you think that life is all about you, and you're a very selfish individual, and just go on and rant on. And then I come and say, you know what? Okay, I've got something that I want to discuss with you. Let me know if you've got like 5 or 10 minutes to spare for us to share this. I will appreciate if it's not something that is important to you at a time. Okay? But feel free to say no. Okay? But if you're going to agree to it, genuinely let it be that you want to do it, not because you're feeling coerced. Because if you are not able to, it's fine. I may equally find someone or others who might be able to help me in that department. Which of these two statements will you be more amenable to?
The second statement.
Why?
Well, because it feels more relaxing. You're giving me the opportunity to say no or to say yes. You've also created an environment which is very conducive for a nice conversation. I don't feel insulted, because the first statement you come to me and say you are this, you are that, you are. I feel a bit, you step on my ego. Like, you come straight to me and then you tell me what you want to tell me, and then you go away without giving me the chance to talk back. So I think the second statement gives you the chance to talk back. It gives you the chance to have a discussion, sort of.
Yeah. Thank you. Anyone has anything more to say to that? Which one of these do you think was it call it you're more amenable to, and why? I always ask why, and the reason is very simple. Understanding the reason why makes a lot of difference. So that's why I tell the kids, I go, "Oh, this is boring." I'm like, "Okay, it's boring. Why?" It's not good enough telling me it's boring. It's not good enough telling me it's not nice. It's not good enough telling me you don't like it. Why? And often at times when you're able to quiz yourself like that and really get to the base of why, you'll probably realize that, you know what, you're making much ado about nothing. Anyway, carry on.
I think it's the second one.
Why?
Just as Kay said, first one is a bit rude. You've already judged me, so what's the point? There's no point talking or continuing the conversation. So we can just put a full stop to it. But the other one is a bit more respectful, and open for dialogue, for conversation.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. So, and the truth is, what was it called? I've said over and again. Whatever judgments or whatever interpretations, all of life, I've said this and I can't really overemphasize that, all of life is about perspectives. All of life is about our interpretations. Okay. And I love what Rumi, the mystic, says. He says that beyond right and wrong, there is a field. I will meet you there. Okay. The judgments we bring to situations, they come or they describe our own inner experiences. As a man thinks in his heart, so shall he project. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth will speak. Guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. All of them. And the moment you realize that and you begin to not look at things as, okay, this person is doing that, that person is doing that, this is what is the... Stop and ask yourself, okay, why? Why am I reacting this way? What in me is this disturbing? What is making me feel this way? And what makes the second option more amenable is because it's not like you're fingering the other person. You're using an I statement instead of you. And I realize that does change a lot, because it helps you as an individual get centered. Whenever you feel like you don't have control and someone else has got control, or someone else is responsible, it makes you anxious, it makes you frantic, it makes you lethargic, and because you can't do anything about it, because you feel it's in someone else's hands. But the moment you say I, it puts responsibility back in your hands, and now you have got control of how you are managing your own internal energies, as opposed to thinking or making someone else responsible for it. How many times have we been in a place where you feel like, someone else is talking too much? Or funny one. I was saying this to Samuel this morning about the use of I don't like. And I was saying that over the years, I've come to prefer the use of I do not particularly enjoy as opposed to I do not like. And it's like, I like is a positive word. I say, yes, it's a positive word. But if I tell you right now, I do not particularly enjoy when I see you do this, but I do not particularly enjoy when you behave this way, as opposed to I do not like it when you do this. Which one sounds better? Which one sounds well? Which one sounds more receiving? Which one sounds more empathetic? I do not particularly enjoy and I do not like. It's a question to all of us. And someone was just saying that, but like and enjoy are the same thing. I say, like and enjoy are the same thing. But you told me which one sounds more welcoming. I'm open to thoughts.
No, you're right. Go on, Joshua. What's talking?
What about I do not particularly like? You're adding another word to it, so that's probably why it sounds nice.
Joshua.
You do not particularly like, okay.
I think, I would agree with what you're saying, because I don't know if I've said to you something that we've talked about, shared it on this platform some time back. And I've gotten used to that saying. And I do tell people that I don't say someone is wrong anymore. I'm trying to refrain from using that word. I would rather say that there's a better way of doing what you're doing, or there's a better way of doing what you did, which makes it seem like what you've done, you've only done it because that's what you know, but there's a better option. If you had done it this way, it would have been better. I think that's more accepting, opening the person up to another thought than saying you are wrong. You are wrong, you've shut the person down. As similar last you were saying, I do not like means you have to stop. Now you shut the person down, you shut the person out. I do not enjoy, there's another way of doing what you are doing. What you are doing is not really what I want to see you do. So it's really good. I would really stick with what you just said, and henceforth use that. I think it's good, to me, in my opinion. I don't enjoy what you are doing. So if I tell my missus that I don't like your jollof, it sounds a bit serious than I don't enjoy the
And
jollof.
it's like funnily enough, that is the same example I use. I'm like, I can like jollof, but I may not enjoy how it's being presented this particular time.
You don't like it. You don't like it means you stop doing it. You don't like it, but enjoy. She can do it, but with a different, touch and add some things to make it better than how she used to make it. So that is a good one that I think I'm going to work with, which is really good. I would go with that. I do not enjoy what you are doing, rather than I don't like what you're doing.
Someone was just trying to argue that it's just semantics, but well,
it looks like just semantics, but the words are the same word, but when used in a sentence or in a phrase, couple other words, it puts one brings a bit more, one is a bit light, which will not make the person feel bad. The other is a bit like off, like I've shut it off. I don't like it. And I don't enjoy it. I don't like it. It's serious.
No, but do you realize? What actually brought me to that realization was I realized that each and every time I say I don't like, there is the energy that comes with it was a notch up. But when I say I don't enjoy, the energy was a tone down, and I'm like, this sounds to me better than I do not like.
Yeah, anyway. I've not used. I do not enjoy it, so I don't know the energy with which it comes with. But I think just talking about it now, it just brought my awareness to what I do say, that I would rather say there's a better way of doing things than telling somebody that you are wrong, which I think works out for me in the past. So this one is good. I mean, you don't enjoy what the person is doing, or you don't enjoy the attitude, but you don't like it. It kind of, I don't know how to do it. It's kind of, meaning it's a bit aggressive, if it's the right word to use.
Let me use this. Let's say we're talking about a concert, maybe an artist. Let me use which artist? Okay, let's say Kofi Kinata or anybody that you like.
Wale.
You're going for Shatta Wale concert, let's say. You're going there because you like him, right?
Yeah.
So you book the ticket and go. You will get there and not enjoy the whole thing because there were technical issues. He didn't sing well. The environment, whatever you wanted to feel wasn't there. So you did not enjoy the program. But I won't book Shatta Wale. Not that I don't like him, I'm just giving an example. Or Kinata, I like him. I'm just using this as an example. Because I don't like him, so I won't even book to go and see whether I'll enjoy myself or not. I get what I'm trying to say. So I think the like and enjoy, the like is a step further to enjoy. That's why it sounds better. And even you yourself projecting the word, if you use the word enjoy, it's more positive.
It brings it back into yourself.
The vibration that you're bringing out is way better than I don't like this. Take it off. Take it away. You get. So I think the like and enjoy. I like someone, I can book and go and watch and enjoy it. I don't like it, I'm not going.
Thank you. Any more? Okay. So, and one that I I picked up, I get told by someone, I won't mention names, that You're talking too much. You're talking too much. And over time, I sat down and I just asked myself, because I take a lot of feedback from my interactions with people, you see. And I sat and I'm like, when someone tells me I'm talking too much, how does it make me feel? And I realized it's not a very nice thing to hear, but I'm like, okay, so what is it that will make someone think you're talking too much? Is it because at that material time, they would rather not talk to you? Is it because at that material time, what you're talking about is not something that is of interest to them? Or is it because you are using too many words than they enjoy? Okay? And over time, it just dawned on me that okay, based on that experience, I would also not put myself in the space where I would ever need to tell any human that they are talking too much.
Can I chip in?
Oh, I'm only telling a scenario. When I finish, you got okay. Only finish chipping.
Another scenario could be the person has understood what you're saying, so you don't need to continue.
Oh yeah, I do get that. I do get that scenario. But the point I'm trying to make is I'm only talking about it based on feedback that I gave to myself. That okay, if that's the case, so if rather than me telling myself that somebody is talking too much, if I say, oh okay, I think I think they're using too many words that I'm enjoying at the moment, it makes me more open to listen to them anyway or either way. Okay, I'm only sharing like my own feedback and stuff as well, and it's something that we can't really take away from it, in that we are social beings, and whether we like it or not, we bring our own perspectives to things. We see things for who we are, and not necessarily for what they are. That's the reason why two people can be having the same experiences and they will put divergent interpretations to the experience, because every judgment is a tragic expression of an unmet need. Let that sink in and think about it. Each and every time you judge in something or someone or a situation, there is an unmet need or an unmet expectation within you that makes you judge, or that makes us judge anything unfavorable. Think about it. And everything we say is something we're saying about ourselves or about our own needs. I told my mom this growing up, bless her, when every moment she'll get, and I do it as well as a parent. Unfortunately, we become the people we become based primarily on the environment we grow in, the people who mentor us, the people whose voices are loudest in our ears, and our associations and stuff like that. And I said, you're telling me that you want me to do well, you want me to be a great man, and da 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 da. But I don't think it's entirely about me. It's equally about you, because I'm doing well for me, but also the joy that it will bring you, seeing that I've done well for myself. So you are expressing that based on your own innate need as well. Because you don't want someone to say that you are being a bad parent and you've not been able to raise your son right. So you've also got some interest there that you want to protect. It's not entirely about me. And the more I grow, the more I realize, particularly when I got into that space as well, I realized that it's equally true. When I'm asking my children to learn, yes, learning is good for them, but deep down, it's about me. It's about them. It's true. No two ways about that. But it's equally about me. All our judgments, they express a particular deep-seated need about ourselves. All. But the only thing is, maybe you haven't thought of you probably wouldn't have thought about it deeply to the level or exactly to the level of identifying what it is about yourself that is making you judge that way. What is it about yourself that is making you come across that way? What is it about your needs that is making you come across that way? An example. When I say that my partner is lazy, for instance, could it be my need for mutuality, my need to feel appreciated, or some kind of companionship that is awaiting fulfillment? When you're saying someone is not funny, when you're saying someone is stupid, for instance, could it be begging a need for understanding, a need for self-worth, or a need for there to be more creativity than is being presented at the minute? See, so in dealing with the principle of well-being, these are the sort of things that I want us to begin to think on in our dealing with one another, because happiness thrives, as I said earlier on equally having meaningful relationships, not only with one another, but also with ourselves. We have a choice of how we react or how we choose to experience anything and anyone that's in our space. It's entirely our choice. So you don't go anything to add to that? In coming sessions, we will treat apologies and gratitude on themselves in the coming session. But I just thought for us to open it up and do a bit of an intro, touch various areas and sum them up. Any more? Any more? Release yourself from the need for apology and gratitude. No one owes you an apology for the harm done you, or gratitude for the good you've done to them. What thoughts does that statement spring forth to your attention? Are you in any way interpreting that to mean that when people supposedly offend you, they shouldn't feel remorseful or they shouldn't come apologize? So is that how it's sounding like to you?
Are you asking a question?
Yeah, I'm asking a question. It's only a question based on the statement. That release yourself from the need for an apology and gratitude. No one owes you an apology for harm done you, or gratitude for the good did to them.
I think that the statement is not, it's laden with a lot of concepts that, like the use of the word harm is negative in itself. Harm done you. See, harm done you, and good, and it's full of concepts of division and separation and preferences. And so, like good and bad, harm. And so then where does that leave this person that is being told to nobody owes you anything? I think that it's the preference, we all have been conditioned with preferences. See, from where we are coming from with use of words and all these things. Words have meanings. Words are heavy. See, so if we use these words, harm done you already, What does it mean, harm? And that creates the expectation already. You see? But maybe what if I would rather go from a question part, so then we come from an exploratory place where, say, for an experience with somebody or what you're experiencing in the moment. But the use of, what if we drop the word harm?
Well, let me check something here. What was it called? Let me check something in here. Maybe it will guide us as to what the statement is representing. So it is looking at, think back to it, the principle of well-being. And it uses the word from the place of perceived. So like, for instance, when if you had followed through with the intro that I've done, it will probably make sense, as in living our lives with the thought of, oh, this person has done this to me. They've done something that makes me feel this way, and I expect them to come and apologize. They've done something that I didn't enjoy. They've done something that I think they shouldn't have done, you know. And the
That's
truth
why,
of it,
I get you where you're coming from. I was listening to you. I think that the preference has already been developed, right? So we have preference. This, like the book, the Hindus call it the samskaras, the preferences of this is good, this is bad, this, you did this to me. Why? Because this is something that we've been trained into. Like you said, your mom was saying that when you learn, it's good for you and all that, right? So these are built-in preferences. So when somebody does something to you, you already have this thing that it's done to me, right? And we've described it as good, bad, whatever. So I was just going back to the root of where we have developed this, where we built these expectations from. We all have this samskaras that has gained root. See, the energy has gained root, like, and so by having these preferences, now we want to lean on one side and say, you know what, you owe me an apology. Why? Because there's an expectation, there's a preference there, right? And so I was saying, just to add that nobody owes you an apology. You are trying to help people let go of those expectations. Is that not what is being said? So then you can free the energy in you that is holding on to wanting somebody to come and apologize, because already by doing that you are expending energy holding on to a need or something, right? So yes, I was adding to what you're saying. I'm not saying that what you're saying is wrong or bad. I was saying that the use of...
I was only trying to bring that back so that we kind of bear that in mind in our, what was it called, in our submission. That's all. Go on.
And so I got it. So I was saying that, so yes, it's true. The root is this, that we have developed these preferences. The ego has grown from preferences. When you were a child, you do something, your mother hit your hand, stop it, that's bad, right? And then stop it, that's it. Or you say sorry to her. Yeah, you see where it's coming from? So this has been inbuilt. So the preference of wanting to be apologized, or preference of, oh, my husband did this to me, he has to come and apologize. And then and then they will do all these things. Is that not what we do? Yes. Yeah. So the preference has been developed. Now, this session is teaching us that nobody owes you. So the next question is, okay, so I shouldn't expect anything when somebody hurts me or does something to me. So the next question is, how do I let go of, if this happens to me, which part of me is feeling this sense of need to be apologized to, or this sense of hurt? Which part of me? See, then you are discovering that being, that part of you, the person that has been developed, the ego, okay, that has been trained to expect good, this and this and that and that, to differentiate good and bad. It's always that ego that has that preference. Okay. And so letting go of that expectation is a process to me of knowing what is it that is expecting, what part of me. Like you've asked these questions before. Why am I feeling this way? Why am I expecting that from you? Because you're trying to go to the root. See? So yes, you did this to me. What part of me that feels hurt? What part of me that is going through this sense of wanting to? How do I let go? How should I let go? Why? Then you are going deep and releasing that energy and freeing the energy that is holding on to. In this case, you are allowing yourself to let go of the samskaras, the preferences. So then, if somebody does something to you, it's not pleasant, it's not whatever, oh, okay, that's another shift, that's another experience. Then you are letting go, and you see that you're always freeing the energy. And you always, the more you free energy, the more energy you get, because you're not holding on to anything. And that's really powerful. But this expectation of forgive and you shall be forgiven, it's all cliches because you're lying. You're not forgiven. You are doing it out of because it's a command. But no, let's get to the root of it. Where is it coming from? It's a very good question. Then you would see that the more you free up this, let go of the ego. You know, it's not something that you do. It's something that you realize. And then it does it by itself. It's not an activity, right? Yeah. So yeah, thank you. I was just trying to go back to the roots, that know where it's coming from. That it's coming from this expectation. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Get it. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was like I'm sure a few weeks ago I said this year that one thing that has also come to sum up my principle for dealing with people. It's working for me at the moment, so I don't find need to change it. So what Jesus says, Father, forgive them, they know not what they're doing.
Hi, I'm Anna.
Everything that we do as humans, all actions that people do, which we have, for which we are at liberty to assume they are doing that to hurt us, to harm us, or whichever interpretation we put to it. Come to a place of accepting that all these are things which no one does intentionally to harm the other, because the other is you. It might come across as intentional, it may come across as intentional, doing it with intent, with the purpose of hurting you. But the truth of the matter is, Father, forgive them, for they do not know. Even when they are thinking that is in the intent is to cause harm, the intent is to cause pain, the intent is to cause a form of inconvenience. It is from a place of limited knowledge. It's from a place of limited understanding of their action, regardless how it looks. That's why I stand down. So whatever action, whatever is motivating the action, there's always a part of it that they have failed to consider, but there's a part of it that is not in their experience yet. That's the reason why they are conducting themselves in that manner. That's the reason why they are speaking the way they're speaking. That's the reason why they are doing what they are doing. Father, forgive them. They do not know. That is what will make someone who has been raped by another transcend the pain of being raped, because they're choosing, Father, forgive them, they do not know. Because they are choosing to see the rapist, assumedly, as a child of God who lacked understanding of their actions per the time. Let it sink in. Does a person lose their identity because they are ill? When your child is ill, do they stop being your child? It's a question. They don't, do they?
No.
They don't. A person doesn't lose their identity just because they are ill. The story is told of this woman who got molested by someone, and she literally begged for the judge not to sentence the gentleman. And when later on she was asked why, like, it dawned on me that he is a child of God, same as myself. Our natural instinct is to what? Done something wrong. God is got to be punished. They've got to pay for the consequence of the action. They've got to pay for it. They've got to pay for it. They've got to pay for it. And the more I'm growing, the more I'm getting wary of whenever we have these energies towards people who are found wanting of doing right. They do not know. Even when it appears intentional, it's always a part of the puzzle that they have not looked at from their experience. And it's not necessarily our responsibility to bring it to their awareness. If it was, their knowledge of the law will stop them from doing it. It's not nice, is it? It's not nice what I'm saying.
I just wanted to add, I think that it's like you said, they do not know, like yes, it's true. You're coming from a place of not knowing, meaning ignorance is like ignoring, not seeing the bigger picture of who they truly are, right? I think like what you're quoting from Christ, he knows that this is an awakened being. Jesus is an awakened being, knowing that this is a part of me that is not awakened to realize who I am and who they are, right? So from that place, he can go ahead and say, forgive them. Why? Because he's seeing them as part of himself. And knowing that they don't see it because they are not seeing from where he's seeing. So they don't know, right? So yes, a person who is awakened to the fact that, like the woman who was molested, was awakened to the fact that this is a being which is me, right? Another part of me that has, done this. And so I can accept him as whatever that he is. He is not awakened to realize that I am him, and he is me. And so if he was awakened to this, he wouldn't have done that. He was approached me in a loving way, than from that place of wanting to quote and unquote molest me, right? And using that word, then using quote and unquote, why? Because coming from a place of not knowing makes it look like he's intended to harm, right? And yes, Catholic said a very good thing about, okay, what if he says that when you are asleep to your true being and you do something, does it mean you cannot be punished? A question was asked from the audience. And he said, no, we all will pay for the consequences of that part of us that is not awakened to that true self of our being. We will pay for it, okay? And that is when you go to prison, whatever, you would have to, come to that place. And it's all part of the process. you would awaken to that part too, right? So yeah, we all coming from a place.
I'm just chipping. I've heard him say that, and I remember it was a question from an audience. I think it was gentleman.
Yeah.
And I remember what came to my mind at that particular moment was just this: what if the payment? Because most of the times when we think about judgment and payment, we think of retribution. But
I don't think that's what he meant.
No, I know. I'm only chipping. I'm only chipping this in. What's it called for?
To clarify it, yeah.
Exactly. Because the scripture says this, and I love it. It says the judgments of God are right. They are not wrong. They are right. And what does that mean? All judgment of God, all judgment of the divine is righteous judgment. So no one rejects love. No one is disabused of the language of love. When this gentleman is in a space where the conditioning is now telling him, I've done something wrong. Oh, now the reality has dawned on me based on the fact that now I'm still before judgment and they're going to sentence me. And he hears this from the lady that you are a child of God and I've got nothing against you. That is also a payment. That is a consequence. Because we've heard a lot about karma, but I say this is about time where we need to explore Dharma. Dharma is grace.
But Sam, even karma is not punishment.
No.
I think we misunderstand karma. Karma is like not like you're gonna get payment back. That's not what it is.
I know that. It's just cause and effect. So, but
no. Karma is action. We are all karma. Like this is it. Karma from the Buddhist means action. We are constantly acting. That is karma. The energetic, the vibration is karma. Is a process, right? But we've come to understand that karma is a payback or judgment or whatever. No, that's how I understood it before, right? But that's not what it means. See, that's not what it means. So then you hear people come out, get you and all that. No, it's not true. We are action. You get what I mean? So like I said, he said it's a process.
I know, and what was it called? If you let me clarify why I brought in Dharma, you probably would have understood what I mean. Obviously, karma is just Sanskrit meaning action. I understand that. But I am talking about the usage and the way we use it, with statements like, oh, karma is a bitch and karma will get you and all those things. That's why I'm saying this from that place that I'm coming to make us aware that, in as much as we hammer on about karma, irrespective of how we understand it, we need to begin to explore Dharma, which is not necessarily action, but harmony. That is where I was coming with that. Okay? All right. Any more?
As you're talking about karma, I started going on Google to type karma and show me to read it. She's also learning, which is good. Very interesting. I mean, God bless you, Tamari. God bless you, Rev. Good point, good perspective. There's a lot in that statement to explore in the coming weeks. Now, even as Tamari was talking and you were talking as well, I have a few questions in mind and it was popping up. And as we deal with this in the coming weeks, and we try to come to the place of transcending to the point of not needing an apology or not expecting anybody to be grateful to whatever we've done for them, we ought to be able to also know the line where, like somebody was saying, if somebody offends you and the person is taken to court and the person is put in jail, that is not a punishment. Even the system's correction facility, their prison it's a correction facility. It's not a punishment. So the woman who at the court said that it dawns on her, she feels that is a son of God or a child of God, but has behaved in a certain way, so the person should be forgiven. Whichever way is good. If the person was forgiven and let go, it's good. If the person wasn't forgiven and was put in jail, it's also good. Because like somebody said, that part of the person that is sick, like if your child is sick, it's still your child. That part of the person that is sick ought to be addressed. And that is the way of addressing it in a good way. Go to jail, learn something, come to jail, we have TSB, thinking skills, how to think. We have anger management, all those things to be able to help you come out of that illness. And so whichever way is good. So I'm only putting, it's going to be an interesting coming weeks. A lot in there to look at, and a few questions to also answer. I'm looking forward to.
I want us to pray. I just want you to, at this moment, allow your eyes to close. And make this statement to yourself several times. No one owes me an apology for a perceived or for any perceived wrong. Everything everyone does is based on a limited knowledge and their experience. Just repeat that to yourself a few times. Your eyes closed, let that run around your mind. And as you're making that statement, repeating it, begin to identify what sensations you're feeling in your body as you make that statement. No one owes me. It's in the same spirit that Paul says, "Oh, we no man nothing except love with which to love another." Free yourself from your own imprisonment and your own burden of needing life to be a certain way in order for you to be happy, needing people to behave a certain way in order for you to be happy. I see you free. I see you free. Enjoy your freedom. Enjoy your liberty. And begin to give thanks for this awakening, for this awareness. And so it is. Amen.
Amen.
And I'm alive to us. Bye-bye.